So Ankita ji.
Thank you, ma'am. Today I am covering the measurement approaches of TFP. Firstly, what is TFP? TFP is simply the ratio of output to the given inputs. In case of output, we can measure the output in physical as well as value terms. And input, they can be in physical quantity as well as in input prices. So TFP, any increase in TFP implies that more output can be produced with a given amount of resources. And in the long run, TFP is a major driver of agriculture growth, which can be affected both by policies and investment. So there are two terms like TFP or multi-factor productivity and partial factor productivity or single factor productivity. As the name says, TFP means here we are covering all the major inputs which can affect the output. And in case of partial or single factor productivity, only one or few input can be seen, like land productivity or labor productivity. Coming to the approaches, broadly there are two approaches, like frontier and non-frontier approach, which can be divided into parametric and non-parametric approach. In case of frontier approach, it estimates the best attainable output based on the estimation of a boundary function, which can also be said as production frontier, given the input and price levels, like cost function, which estimates minimum attainable cost given the input prices and output, while the production frontier estimates the set of maximum output for a given level of input and output. Then production frontier approach identify the role of technical efficiency in overall farm performance, while in case of non-frontier approach, it already assumes that a production function is technically efficient. The TFP growth obtained from production frontier approach have two components. One is technical efficiency, another one is technical change. So here I will cover the non-frontier non-parametric frontier and non-parametric non-frontier approach, like Malenquist Index and Conquest Index. Non-parametric frontier and non-frontier approaches are better as compared to the frontier parametric approaches, because in case of parametric approach, parametric function approach, the parametric function approach assumes that if there is a particular specific functional form of a production function, but the estimate which can be derived from the parametric estimate can be sensitive to the functional form. But in case of non-parametric method, it is parameter free, so there can be no such problem. So first one is Malenquist Index. It is a non-parametric frontier approach of TFP measurement. The index is used to measure the productivity change and also decompose it into technical change and technical efficiency. It is defined through a distance function measuring TFP growth between two time periods by calculating the ratio of distances of each data point relative to a common technology. This is the formula of measuring Malenquist Index. M0 is the Malenquist Index. Here we are measuring output of two period yt plus 1 and yt, and similarly input of two periods xt plus 1 and xt. D0 distance, D0 represents the distance function, which compares the input and output in two time periods. Then any value greater than 1 means TFP growth is there from period t to period t plus 1. This is a software which can be used to estimate the Malenquist Index, DApp software. It is available in the following link. It is the link for the website of University of Queensland, Australia. It provides all the software for calculating technical efficiency, TFP, like DEAP, and frontier approach also. And the example I'm using is wheat production data of Punjab and Haryana. It is for 16 years, 2001 to 2016, and wheat yield I'm using as output, and 5 inputs are there: seed, fertilizer, human labor, machine labor, and irrigation are in case of in quantity price terms. So This is the data. The year contains year from 2001 to 16. There are two states I am taking, Haryana and Punjab. Yield in kg per hectare. Seeds are in kg quantity terms, fertilizer kg quantity terms, human labor in hours, machine labor and irrigation are in cost terms. So, this is the DApp software. This is a PDF which contain all the procedure how to calculate the Malenquist index from DApp software. This EG4 file contain data file. Here in the software, there are three types of files. One is data file, EG4 DTA. One is instruction file where we will fill the information about output and input. Then another one is output file, which will come when we give this instruction file into this DApp software. So the data from Excel sheet I have already pasted here. Here I am taking only the yield. First one, this shows yield. Then second one is seed. Third column is fertilizer. Fourth is human labor. Fifth is machine labor cost. Last one is irrigation cost. These are for 16-year period. Then second file is the instruction file. Firstly, we have to put the data file name, which is EG4DTA. Second one is what output file name we want to give it. I have taken as EG4 output. The number of farms are number of state we are using. These are only two, Punjab and Haryana. Time period is 16 year. Then number of outputs, only one output I'm using, only crop yield. In case of more than two, like crop, livestock, fishery, we can use 3 output. Then inputs are 5. Then the production process input or output oriented, I have taken as an input oriented. I have assumed constant return to scale. And which function I want to use, it is second, Malenquist DA. Then I will open this software. Here I have to write the instruction file name, which is this EG4INS. This code I have to give for generating the output data. And by typing and after entering it, this is the output file it will give here. So For every year, firstly, it will give the firm-wise, year-wise technical efficiency here.
Hello. Hello, madam. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, yes.
Your screen is not moving, ma'am.
Now also.
Only we have seen one screen, that is a folder named TFP.
Okay.
Ankita, try sharing again.
Can you see this?
We can only see your deep folder within TFP.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. This data file. Now?
Yes, now we can see your EG for DTA5.
Yes, yes. Now it is visible.
This is the data file. There is a first column represents the yield. Then these are the 5 input. I have just copy and pasted from Excel there. Then this is the instruction file. Data file name is EG4DTA that I have shown. Output file name, you can put anything. EG4DTA I have put now 5. There are 2 firms, which are 2 states, Punjab and Haryana. Number of time periods are 16 years. Output is 1, only crop. I am using crop yield. Inputs are 5. The production function is input oriented. Constant return to scale is assumed. Then the type of production function I am using, Malenquist Index 2. So this is a software in which this command will be filled, DApp software. Here, enter the instruction file name. I will enter eg4.ins .txt, which is the instruction file. Then enter. This is the output file which I get from there. This shows the year-wise technical efficiency from year T to T plus 1 year. 1 year from the first year, that is T year, it is always assumed as technically efficient 1. Second year, it will measure the change of the previous year. And lastly, in the end, we will get year-wise efficiency change, technical change, efficiency change, which is categorized into two parts, pure efficiency, scale efficiency, lastly, TFP change in all these 16 years. This gives the combined technical efficiency and TFP for both the states, Punjab and Haryana. Lastly, these two, this will tell us the summary of all the 16 year for these two states. One denotes Punjab, second one is Haryana. So for the first state, TFP is 0.98. Second one is 0.97, which means both are, in case of TFP, it is less than 1. And in case of technical efficiency, both are technically efficient in wheat production. So this is about the frontier non-parametric approach, Malenquist Index. Second one is non-frontier non-parametric approaches, which are the index number approach, Divisia Index and Tonquist Index. Divisia Index is a theoretical construct to create the index number series for continuous time series data on prices and quantity of goods exchanged. It has a rate of growth equal to weighted average of rates of growth of its component quantities. Like TFP equal to rate of growth of output minus summation of share of inputs into rate of growth of inputs. In case of multiple input, the Y will be multiplied by the revenue share of each outputs. Like TFP is summation of revenue of each output into change in output minus share of each input into change in input. Second index, which is Tonquist Index, is approximation of Divisia Index. It is same to the Divisia Index, but there are two differences. First one, it is in log terms. It measures change in terms of log. Second one, their share we are using is average of 2 periods, first year and second year period. Here I'm also giving the example of Tonquist Index using the data of India. Indian productivity or value of production of both crop and livestock will be used, and input data will be taken for major input like land, seed, fertilizer, machinery, and feed. And 18-year period will be used from 2000 to 2018. Can you see this Excel file?
Yes. Yes.
So first column is year from 2000 to 2018. Second one is crop, value of crops. Third is value of livestock. Then value of output combinedly both crop and livestock. Then these are quantities of land, labor, livestock, machinery, fertilizer, and feed. Then I have calculated revenue share, which is the share of crop in total value of production yearly. Similarly, revenue share of livestock. Then to get the growth rate of crops, I have multiplied the revenue share to the logarithmetic of these value of production of crops, like log of value of production of crops for 2001 divided by value of production of crops of 2000 multiplied by the average of revenue share of crops from the year 2001 and 2000. Similarly, for livestock, log of change of 2 year was taken. Then similarly, it is multiplied by revenue share of livestock, average of 2 years. For calculating the output growth rate, it is just the sum of these two growth rate of crops and livestock. Then for calculating the cost share, I have taken all these share of input as fixed shares. There can also be, if you have expenditure data, you can also take year-wise different share of each input. Then it will be weighted average of these 2 years. Then growth rate of each input will be calculated by multiplying the cost share of each input into the change of each input, yearly change. Like the growth rate of land is the log of change in quantity of these 2 years multiplied by average of share of 2 years. Same is done in case of each input. Then we sum it for calculating the input growth rate. For estimating the TFP growth rate, it will be the we will minus the output growth rate and input growth rate. For calculating Tfp index from the Tfp growth rate, we will take the first year index as 1, then see what happens to the subsequent years to Tfp. So this, for the next year, the growth will be calculated as 1 plus the growth rate of the 2001 into growth rate of previous period. Similarly, for this period, growth rate of 2002 will be growth rate of Tfp index of 2001 plus Tfp growth rate in 2002 into 1. Same is done for each year. So this is how Tfp index has grown from 2001 to 2018. The division index is same, but here we have taken the average of 2 years in case of for calculating the growth rate of each output and input. In case of division index, we will not take the weighted average of 2 years, but only the share of current year will be used for calculating the growth of output of current year. Other calculation will be same. So this is about the approaches. Next, is impact of research on TFP. So TFP is affected by a lot of factors like research, irrigated area, literacy, terms of trade, rural road intensity, etc., and education also. Research is one of the most important factors that affect the total factor productivity of agriculture sector, especially in case of developing countries, as it is mostly publicly funded. India has one of the largest and advanced agriculture research system among most of the developing nations. Agriculture research play a vital role in the growth and development of the Indian economy. Public spending on agriculture research and education has increased over the year from 1,600 crores to 12,000 crores in 2019-20, and share of agriculture research and education in agriculture GDP has also increased from 0.4% during the 1983-1984 to 0.6% in recent years. So it is important to see the impact of research in the agriculture productivity. But while measuring the impact of research on TFP, it cannot be measured directly because there is existence of research lag. Because when in research investment is there, TFP or productivity will not be affected directly, as first there will be research expenditure, then there will be production of a technology or knowledge, And after the production of knowledge or technology, it will take some time to the adoption in the farm level. Then from the adoption to the peak adoption, and subsequently the impact of productivity, it will take a few more years. So the current year productivity will not be impacted by this year research expenditure, but also the research expenditure which will be done in the past years. This is a study of Nicholas Rada, which has measured the impact of research on TFP in his paper Approaches of Agriculture Productivity in India. He has measured the research lag in expenditure, like national research. He has calculated national research stock as a weighted sum of current and previous year's research and education expenditure. The green line shows the India's public research stock, and the orange line shows the CGI Asia stock. He has taken both Indian and international research expenditure in his paper. Then the research lag he has used as there are 2 years of gestation lag, means for any research investment, it will take 2 years to generate any technology. Then he has taken 5-year lag in development of technology and its peak adoption. Then from T minus 6th year to T minus 12th year, means around 7 years there will be technology will be in peak, then it will decline. The decline will be in 8 years, and in 8 years the impact of research expenditure on productivity will fade out. The impact of Indian research is shorter. It is only for 19 years as compared to the international CGI research, which is for 30 years. It is because he has assumed that Indian research are mostly in case of applied R&D, and CGI research are mostly in case of basic research, which take more time to fade out. So he has calculated the stock, like national agriculture research stock as the research expenditure of current year, and T minus 1 year both have 0 weight as technology is still in gestation period. Then for T minus 2 to T minus 10 year, it is increasing as the technology is moving to its peak adoption. Then it is declining from T minus 11 to T minus 18 year, as this is the period of decline in research impacts. He has taken these weights like 0.00, 0.00, 0.16 to lastly 0.16, such that the summation will be 1, based on the assumption that each $1 invested in research expenditure will finally affect TFP only by 1 unit. Then these research stock, which he has calculated based on research expenditure, he has used in his TFP equation, which is TFP is a function of research stock, national research stock, CGIAR research stock, then irrigation, schooling, road, and rainfall. Lastly, the rate of return from agriculture sector. The elasticity of TFP and research is this B2, which he has calculated from this equation. This will help in calculating the internal rate of return from research. As TFP equals change in output when inputs are held fixed, the research TFP elasticity equivalent to research output elasticity. Research TFP elasticity is specified as N is equal to change in log of TFP divided by change in log of research stock, where S represents stock of agriculture research, Y represent output, and the bar over S and Y reflect the period average. Internal rate of return is the discount rate which equals the present value of cost to the benefit that are going to occur in subsequent year. Here he has calculated the internal rate of return for the 18 years. So likewise, the rate of return from research is calculated by taking the research lab. Thank you.
Done, ma'am.
Is it over, Ankita? Okay. Any questions? There is one simple query regarding software and the link. The deep software which you have shown, you can just, it is like where it is available, that you can tell.
Okay, ma'am.
Ankita?
Ma'am. It is available here in the website of University of Queensland.
Okay.
All the software related to technical efficiency like DEAP, DPIN, Frontier, and TFP, all are there.
So I hope, Sugunta, your question is answered. If I think it's a useful presentation, especially for the purpose of estimating TFP. She has given the presentation on the basis of like publicly available software, so all can use it. And this site has the full documentation also, as well as some hypothetical data also to work with like estimation of TFP. You need to only compile the data for your purpose. So thank you, Ankita, for this. If still, I think there is only one question. How multiple outputs can be taken into account for calculating TFP? Mr. Mohit Kumar, Dr. Mohit Kumar has asked this question. In Q&A it is available. How multiple output can be taken into account for calculating TFP?
Yes, the Malenquist Index I have shown. I have used two output like crop and livestock. Similarly, more than two output can also be taken into account in using this index.
Okay. So is it clear? Who has asked this question? Dr. Mohit. So she has taken two outputs. So similarly, others can also be used. So thank you, Ankita, for like finding some time to deliver the lecture. I know you are in a very tight situation right now, but still, even though you are on leave, you managed to deliver the lecture. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So our next talk that will be at 3:30. Okay, so by that time, like you can wait, interact among yourself. We'll start next this thing at 3:30. Okay. The group people, they can ask, or group leaders, they can talk to members of your group. Next group presentation will be on Thursday, Thursday or Wednesday. I have sent this on the group also. Slide change in the Thursday. Thursday we have project presentations. So that I have sent already. Acha, Prabhatji is already there. Prabhatji, you can just try your screen and other things. And like 3:30 the time. So we'll start at 3:30.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
So check your slides, sir. Yes, share करो. हाँ, sir. What happened, sir? What minute? What? Yes, sir. I think visible. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Okay. Now you can answer, sir, because it is 10 to 15 times remaining. If you wish. Okay, I will stop sharing. Okay. Okay, Dilip. Thank you. Yes, sir.
So, Dr. Prabhat, you are there. You can unmute and video. You can make it open, your video. Yes.
I am here.
Okay, fine. So, good afternoon, friends. So, this is the last session for today. And now we are going to have another methodology, basically synthetic control experiments, which will be taken by Dr. Prabhat. So let me introduce you briefly to Dr. Prabhat. So basically, Dr. Prabhat is a scientist at our institute of that is NIAP, ICR NIAP, since 2016. He has also worked earlier at IFPRI, New Delhi, along with Dr. Joshi in initial phase of this career, his career, and also worked with Dr. Devesh Roy at IFPRI. So at present also he is working with Dr. V.S. Vithal under National Professor Project, and he has also done various projects including Niti Aayog project on micro irrigation. His mainly research interests include natural resource management, groundwater energy nexus, ecosystem services, and impact assessment. He has done his MSc and PhD from IRI and BSc from Palampur HP, CSK HPKV. So he has done this from Palampur. So with these words, I would like to request Dr. Prabhat for delivering his lecture. So we are starting at 3:30. So you can take up to 5 maybe, so that leaving some time for discussions and other things, if any. Okay. So over to you, Dr. Prabhat Kishore.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for introducing me to this group. Am I audible?
You are audible.
Okay. Okay, I will. Should I start now?
Yes, you can start.
Okay, ma'am. So, good evening, everyone. I will be talking on the one of the statistical tool that has been widely used in the recent time for assessing the impact of any policy change. And for about this methodology, synthetic control method, let me tell you first that in the 2003 this method was introduced. Rather, I should say that pioneered by the Abadi and his co-author. Then up in the 2010, again the Abadi and other Diamond Handmuller, these they have just published one paper on one of the policy change in the California that was related to the tobacco control of the tobacco use in the California. So that is the basic paper. Then later on in the 2015 also they have published some one of the paper that provided some insight on the how to we can check some of the robustness of earlier estimate and all. And in 2010 paper they have provided that statistical how we can compute if someone is interested on that one. And after the 2015, there has been a lot of paper in the research domain, not in the, I can say that in the international paper, international researcher, that there has been initial paper, it was for the treatment of one of the unit, then they have introduced the multiple treatment unit. Then for the statistical, like the p-matching fit should be that has to be very, yeah, I can say that the very good fit to be there. But later on, they have also introduced some of the other improved version of synthetic control. I can say that like augmented synthetic control method, like generalized synthetic control method. But if you see for the India in our country, there I don't find that paper on this one. Initial paper one of the initial paper in 2016. I found out that by the some of the author they have published in the European Journal of Political Economy. And that was related to the economic, economic, I can say, economic effect of counter-surgency policy that was in the Andhra Pradesh. And then in the 2017, also one paper that is the working paper by IDR. But I think that is the working, still it is a working paper. So this method in Indian context, uh, very rarely it is there. And first of all, before I start, I am very much interested that how many of you have heard of this term synthetic control method before this lecture, or I can say that you have used or something. So that would be nice. Anyone?
Sir, I have not heard of it, sir. First time I'm hearing it.
Anyone have listened this synthetic control method and all? No. Okay. So I put it in a very simple way, methodology section and all, just to brief you all about how this methodology we can compute and how we can, if someone is interested, then how they can move further. So for that one, so suppose for the basic, basic evaluation design, what we are doing for the impact assessment, that suppose somewhere we are targeting here, suppose some of the observation is there, where we are interested to do the impact evaluation. Okay. So if suppose some intervention is there, let it be by the government or some other type of intervention is there, and some observation, let it be here, we are going for some of the primary survey and all. So some of the observation may be that we categorize in the two groups. Like one group has got the treatment or intervention, and other have not got the treatment. That we consider it as a control. And with the time or some changes is there, we can compute just after the this intervention, or we can check it out with some time. So here, what I'm trying to say, that we have two basic approaches, that with without. So if we were considering it here with and without, there's some group of observation we have, like that they have got the treatment or something like policy changes there, which is going to affect these people. And some of the observation here, they are under the control. They didn't receive it actually. And we are just taking doing the sampling and surveying of both the groups. Then we are comparing and then finding out the restriction effect. And if you are another approach is that before and after. Suppose that here the subgroup are there. So earlier you have done the survey, and then after the intervention, and then you are just considering it from here and taking out the observation, and then finding, and then comparing it with before and after approach. So here, if you see, if you see further, you realize that here, if you are seeing the one of the group, this group you are comparing with this group. But here, basic question: how you are going to select this group could be the better detecting this fellow, this type of observation, this group. So there is, there is always some problem, like the problem of missing counterfactual, what we are saying in a statistical term, that you cannot have the same observation at the same time as a treated and as a control. So let it be from you that some people have got now one of the person is getting that training, and we want to know the impact of that one, how it has improved its career advancement and all. So you cannot, if you are doing that one, then you cannot, you cannot have the same person as this one with training and without training. So at the same time, so very difficult to get it. very difficult to get the clone of what of one person with the other and that one. So that becomes a very difficult one. So we are in statistics, we are saying that is the problem of missing counterfactual. And then here, if you are selecting, suppose that person you are thinking that person A had got the treatment, and now you can compare it with those who have not got some let it be B, person B, and you are thinking that both person are very much similar. So these are this here you are considering that assuming that both are similar, and now you are seeing the effect and all. And what we are doing in survey also, like here we are considering it this group of people and comparing with the these people who didn't go, but we are not exactly knowing are they similar or not. And there are a lot of I can say that the personal biasness is there, that while the controlling the while selecting this type of samples in the control group, maybe once we are going for the survey, then we are selecting nearby district, or we are going in the same village, and then selecting the nearby household and all. That is based on our discussion. Then we are saying that this is the randomization we have done, or something like randomly we have selected and all. So here some degree of ambiguity will always be there if you are going in that way. So these are the two problems what we are facing. And third, if I say that there is some policy intervention, I mean, like in the 2009, Punjab government has enacted Punjab Subsoil Water Preservation Act. This was to control the depletion of groundwater level by just changing the date of sowing paddy crop and its transplanting. So they have fixed some certain date. Before that, you cannot sow the nursery of paddy and transplant it. And if something there, then there is fine, and they will destroy the field and all. So this was based that this will control the groundwater depletion. But here, if you see, like Punjab, there is the implemented policy change has taken place at the aggregate level, Punjab level, state level. Here you have treatment, only one treatment unit. And other, if you are, so if treatment unit is here there's a lot of treatment. So you can go for the standard error method and then a statistical test, t-test and all. But here you have only one treated unit. And for comparing, you can compare it with the other state, or how many state is there. So based on that one, you can do it. So and similarly, one of the act like reappeal of Bihar APMC Act 2006, it was there in the Bihar government who just reappealed existing APMC Act which was brought up in 1960 with the intention that it will open up the market, and a lot of private investment will come in the mandis. So we here also you see Bihar, it is a single treated unit, and we want to know the impact of this type of enactment, or you can say this type of intervention on the some particular variable. Let it be for the first case, it was the what could be impact on groundwater level. Then second case maybe on the agricultural GDP prices and all. So here, if you see critically, then you are now you will be seeing the what could be the what problem going to be. So earlier, for the earlier, what would be not earlier, still we are using the method like the difference, what we are saying it. And here though we are saying that the suppose some intervention has taken place, and we are considering one group as a control and one group as a treatment, and then we are just assuming that they follow the parallel trend. Here the parallel trend means if suppose the intervention is not there, then they will move on the similar path. Outcome of that variable will move on the similar path. So if you have done any work related to means on this method, difference in difference, then proving this assumption also become very difficult. And here also, if you are like for the Punjab, if you are going to select that state, then you will be selecting some other state, maybe Haryana, but ideally you will not select Haryana. But other state like Uttar Pradesh or some other state, you will select it from their observation from Punjab, and then you just compile up, and then you can say these are the impact. but we are not how exactly the Punjab is resembling to the Uttar Pradesh or maybe Madhya Pradesh and all. So we are assuming without intervention it will goes like this. But if suppose there is some intervention, then what will happen? So with intervention, suppose this outcome variable changes. Okay, so here, if suppose the outcome variable changes, then here we are interested to know the how the green line deviates from the that dotted red line. What I am saying this one, this one. So we are interested here to find out because these are the if you are seeing the parallel trend, these are the initial differences, and something will change over the period of time. What we are considering it as a baseline changes. So here, if you change, see, we are very much interested to find out this one gap, and we can say this is the if we are considering these are both the groups control and treatment are very much similar to each other. So this will be the treatment effect. So these are the this is the basic model for the difference in difference. I think you might have covered this lecture of deep and deep. I think so. So here also, if you suppose the some group here for the Punjab case treatment, I think Punjab has received the treatment and other state have not received the treatment. Okay, so and other state yes, I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Yes, you are visible.
Okay, okay. So here I am this TI is considered like the treatment is some state have got treatment like Punjab and other state. Suppose we are selecting maybe like you can see Madhya Pradesh, so that will receive the 0 and Punjab will receive 1. Here TI for the policy change. So after some year, suppose there it was there 2009. So after 2009, that Punjab will receive something like the treatment equal to 1, other will be 0 for the other period. So we are just fixing the panel data. And for that one, we are just simply I put this model and these are the interaction term of both. So where we are interested, this one A3, that is the treatment effect where we are interested and we wish to estimate as much accurately as the A3, alpha 3, I mean. So these are the, these are the, if you have seen that model of deep and deep or you have covered earlier. So these are the, actually these are the main parameter we, before the, suppose here a simple language, if somebody asks me that I can say the differences here and differences here. And you are, these differences, and then you are taking the differences of this one. So you will be getting this treatment difference, A3. But it is not simple in the that if once you are running the model. Am I clear up to here?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
If anything there, you can ask me in between. If you are interested, then that will be also interesting one.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
You can ask in between, no problem. So here we are just difference in difference. It has been covered or not?
No, sir. Lecture is scheduled tomorrow.
Okay, okay. No problem. Then it may be some insight in that method. You can have some basic here. Okay. So here we are, but here one thing you should consider it that we are assuming it like what I can say that this parallel what we are saying parallel trends. So here assumptions, these assumptions sometimes it becomes very difficult to prove because before going to deep and deep, you need to prove this one that your data, the group which you have selected as control and treatment, they follow the similar similar path with the outcome. So you have to be on that line. So it, but here also, what earlier I was saying it. Here, this problem, how the comparison units are chosen. So there will be ambiguity. How you have selected the Madhya Pradesh or how you have selected Uttar Pradesh. So still ambiguity is there. So, but this can be done on the disaggregate disaggregate level of data like cost of cultivation and all what we are saying. Also, we can survey. For the for my main topic is like this one synthetic control when you are dealing with the at the aggregate level and you have the only one unit as a treated unit. Then in that case, how you are going to do that one? So earlier, and that is the case when we are doing some comparative case studies. So with that limitation, what I was saying that how the comparison unit are chosen, there will be some ambiguity, and there will so if you are not selecting proper control unit, then there will be you will be lacking the counterfactual. That means you cannot reproduce uh, the better counterfactual, I can say, with that one, with which you will be comparing to know your impact of that any policy change and all. So we are going for a while. Just this method has in the recent time have got so much importance, and if you see the paper, a lot of paper is there after the 2015 and 16, and we are also working on the same topic, like the repeal of FMC Act. We have worked with the E3. I have worked with the E3, and also like one of the other like the Punjab also. We are working on that one. So here, what we are doing this in synthetic control method, that suppose we are selecting it, how we are going to select that there is some ambiguity, what I was saying, ambiguity is there. You might be knowing the meaning of the counterfactual, that if suppose the counterfactual means so what would have been if that thing would have not taken place. What would be the result of the Punjab? What would be the level of the Punjab if that egg would have won't have been there? So that is the counterfactual actually. So here too we are interested to construct the counterfactual that can depict the Punjab if that egg was not there. So for the synthetic control, so here what we are doing, we have got like the Punjab, we have got the treated, and other states. Suppose the other state I have considered it like the 16 state. I have considered rest of the like the northeastern state and all. I have just because they are not so similar to the Punjab, so it was just sit outside our donor pool. And here the donor pool, I mean to say that the state which we have considered in our study to construct the counterfactual. So 16 states we have considered in our donor pool to construct the Punjab counterfactual, or you can say the synthetic Punjab. So how that is constructed, I will be covering that one in the later period. But here I can say that for the constructing counterfactual, each state we are putting we have some observation and we have like this we are including some factors which are responsible for groundwater depletion and all, including in our model. Then how they are Punjab's that characteristic resembles to other states. Based on that one, it do the lot of algorithm which are we are doing in the that data. Based on that one, provides the weight to some state which resembles more, and based on that one is construct the counterfactual, which is better, which is better resemblance to the that one treated state. So what I was saying is the comparison unit is weighted average of all the potential. So instead of taking one unit and comparing it with that one, it's better to have the many units and just providing the weight which giving weight based on the similar characteristics which resembles the Punjab. So that will be, you can also you will be convinced with that one how we can that will be better one. So and here what is the combination that what I am trying to just convince you for that one. So for doing the test also earlier is that what I was saying that earlier tests were now for the robustness of result we were there were very few things we could do, but later on the method improved Now we have something like the placebo test based on the computation test, giving treatment to every unit and thinking that that effect should not be larger than the state which have got in actual the treatment. So these are some of the econometrics. I put it in a simple way. Here I will tell you in the very very something simple way, like that we have considered, suppose here we have considered Punjab as a treated unit, other 16 states we have considered it in the donor pool state. So based on that one, and Punjab had got the treatment in 2009. So after that, after that we need to estimate the impact of that one. So here we are just what method will do. So based on similar characteristic of the variable which we are including in the model, it will provide the way to the that particular state which are better depicted by that depicted, and based on that one, it will create the counterfactual. With that one, we can just estimate the impact of that. So in the simple way, if you are interested further for that one, for the econometrics and all, so you can, I will give the references, or you can just Google like the Abadi paper in the 2010, 2015, or 2000 basic paper 2003. So in 2010 paper, you can have, you will be having better insight on this methodology. So that is the pioneer work it was done by them. And backing my what I am saying, that a statement, I have just put it the screenshot of some of the paper like the ETHI and IMBEL they have published in 2017. So what they have said that this you can see here, I believe the most important innovation in the policy evaluation it has in the last 15 years. And this method built on the different basis, but usually systematically more effective comparison. So here you don't have to you don't have to select some group to compare it. It will automatically do algorithm, and it will find out which one is the better one, and then it will provide the weight to that one, and based on that one to create a counterfactual. And I think for that one only you are interested, and that will solve your purpose. So for that one I put it here. So for what I was saying, we have just this one I put it here for like the Punjab. I will be focusing on that on the Punjab only. So the Punjab, if you see the groundwater status, why they have enacted that policy, and to control the groundwater depletion in the state and all. So here I just put it on the groundwater status of the state which we have considered in the donor pool. And here you see the Haryana. Haryana, I just struck out of it because this Haryana state it also got same, they have also enacted the same law in the same year, and their intention was the same. So I have just put it out from my donor pool because it have it can consider as also the treated. So here we were considering only the one treatment unit. So these are the variables which we have included in our model. So you can see here like the groundwater level. So they were targeting that how the groundwater level can be managed. Still, it is problematic there. And for that one, there is a lot of paper they have published like Karam Singh, sir, Dr. Karam Singh, then Dr. Sheetal Sekhri, then some paper by Dr. Vipathi and all. So it was there. They have evaluated the impact of this one, and we have worked similar, and we have followed the different methodology, but they are actually the data it was up to the 2012, but we have considered it up to extended data to 2015, and we have got something different result than that one. So here the predictor variable which we have included in the model, like the rainfall, electricity consumption, cropping intensity, shear of groundwater irrigation, paddy crop area, paddy irrigation hour, and dual density. So here, if you are seeing you can see the how these are the just we have taken like the average of all variables, and here the Punjab is 10, and you can easily see how the other differences and all. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can ask in between if you find it interesting lecture, not interesting lecture, I cannot say, but interesting method and all. You can just keep on asking this. Yes, any question?
Sir, in chat box,
Sir.
there is a one question, sir. In
What
chat
is
box.
source for data, Doctor? There is one question.
Which data you want to know? Yeah, please. Which data? I think somebody. Yes.
For this table, sir. What is the source of data?
Yeah. What?
For this table, yeah. How you have
This
collected
table.
the
For
data?
state-wise
Yes,
groundwater table.
yes, sir.
Doctor, state-wise groundwater.
State, that is CGWB, Central Groundwater Board is there. From there you can extract the data for well wise. From 97 to till now you can extract the data from there. Is it okay?
Okay, Doctor, there are no questions. You go ahead. Okay, Doctor, you can go ahead.
Okay. So, so now coming to the final, the estimate of the synthetic control method, what type of result we are getting and how we can draw the inference from there. So here, the variable which we have included in the model, and here just I put it like the real value and the synthetic, and I have just put it the average value also. Okay. So here, what you can find it out that synthetic which is created by the SCM is much better than the average of the 15 state what earlier people used to not I cannot say that one, but earlier if you suppose that you are going to take the average of that value and what the synthetic it is giving, so that is much closer to this one, much closer to the real. And why this is there? But because it is giving the weight to the data state which are more so the more resemblance to the Punjab based on this variable which we include in the model. And here, if you see this, like the Punjab, here two things need to be clarified. That the red line, which is the actual the groundwater level of Punjab, and the dotted, which is the donor pool, we have created from the donor estate, that is the synthetic Punjab. So this one, if this one the pre-intervention period is there from the 2009. So here, what they were saying, what the methodology said, that if the before intervention, if you have better fit to this data, so that could be so that if that is that tracking each other very closely, then in the post intervention period you can have the better counterfactual. And here we have got that like the pre-intervention match was better, and we and after intervention, suppose the dotted line here we can compare it. If groundwater level was still going down, and with the counterfactual we have something like going in the parallel trend. And but here and how this created. So for this one, I can say that how the weight was assigned. So these state like the Rajasthan, here we have just discarded Haryana. Not this, we have just excluded or Haryana because they have got the similar treatment. So here you see the Rajasthan had got some weight, then the Tamil Nadu, then Uttar Pradesh, then Uttarakhand. So these states have got the similar. So these states have got the some weight. Based on this one, it was constructed. But we have included 16 states including that Haryana. But here it is based on, in case you are removing any one of the state, then again the weight will be changing. So based on algorithm and optimization, it has created the weight, and based on this weight, it has generated the synthetic Punjab. With that one, we need to compare how effective is our policy. So next question could be that how these differences are. Can we estimate the significance level of this difference and whether this is significant or not? So these were the question. Now now we have got those many placebo stage and up to 2015, and we have very much. We can estimate this effect whether significant or not. So based on that one, under the robustness test, what we did that we have given treatment to each state in the same year, considering that each state have received the treatment, and then we have estimated the impact, expecting that a state which have not got the treatment will should not have effect larger than the state which have got the Punjab. Putting in a simple way, like the Punjab has got the treatment, so effect of that one for the case of Punjab should be larger than the other of the state. So these are the main motive for this one, for doing the placebo run. Placebo run, we are giving the fake treatment, or we can say the bogus treatment to each of the unit we have included in our study, and then finding out the effect of that one, fake treatment, and then just comparing it, that effect is how large it is. If that is larger than the actual treated unit, means we do not have that significance level, or if that much lower than that one, then we can say that this policy have impact on intended variables which we are studying. For that one, we are doing some of the tests also, like here I just put it before after the treatment, that how is it this happened by chance or what. This we have estimated, so probability of it's happening by chance, that came to be the 0. So one other test which we included here, that like suppose that there, if you see it in this graph or in the earlier graph also, so that effect is that will be better one. So here the effect of this one post intervention treatment divided by this pre-intervention treatment, and we can just find out the ratio of this one. So suppose that some differences where the differences is large, then that ratio will be large. And here, if you see this one, like for the Punjab case, post and pre ratio, what we are doing it. So you can find out that this post pre ratio is nearly 11.22, and the other states which are coming second place, for example, like the Himachal Pradesh was 3.6, then earlier, then it is going down. But for this one, which saying that there is had effect, I mean to say that there is some policy impact for that one or not. So here, so one of the study what we have done in the E3 with the Dr. Devesh Roy, the Dr. Avinash Kishore, and other Dr. Sunil. So they have there also the intention was we intended to know the impact of the repeal of APMC Act in the Bihar, which was which was brought up by the in the 2006 to have the better infrastructure in the Mandi system. There is a lot of study on that one, like one study by Niam had a study in 2011, I think, by India, that is also given, and they indicated that there has not been any improvement for that one. So here, if you see that how the pre-intervention match get better, then later on also, then we could not able to find an impact of that one. Impact of this removing the reappealing the APMC Act from the Bihar. Here we have selected these variables in our model to construct the counterfactual. And wait here, like we have a farm harvest prices of maize. So here, if you see the how to wait, it was like in Isar to Andhra, then Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh. And here, if you see that one, how the that effect it has been there, like we were seeing the in the post treatment period, we are interested here. Nothing happens in the Bihar. And the rank also, if you see that on post and pre ratio of the rank, then here we find it that the Bihar have got rank 8, and in the earlier case we have got Punjab at the first rank. So where in this case in the Bihar APMC uh, there we could say that there is no impact of this appeal for which it was intended for that one. So these are some of the basic paper what I was talking of in the by the Abadi. So they were the pioneers in this method. So like the 2003, 10 and 2015, they have just only this paper. And for this one, for this on this method and for doing some assessment, our consideration has been like we have just given it just we have presented in the some of the conferences, and then some paper also we have just put it. It is being it has been sent to some of the journal, and it is being so we are expected for that one. So this one for the lecture and for the briefing you about this methodology, this is from my side, but I will be doing some of the practical if you are interested on that part. Yes. Hello.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah,
Ask
please ask.
me.
Yeah.
Doctor, there is one question in chat box. Sir, how to estimate post-pre ratio and inter-pre? In chat box, you can read, sir.
Okay. This will go back actually. Yeah. Yeah, Suresh ji. Am I audible?
Doctor, he is in
Yes,
attending
sir.
mode actually.
Okay.
He can contact. He can ask through chat.
Yeah, you can ask directly also. That will be better. So here, post and pre ratio. What I am saying that after the intervention, we have just root mean prediction error. We are estimating it. Then that one and before intervention, that what is the RMEA root mean prediction error, and just we are taking the ratio of that one. What I am trying to say that after the treatment here, if you see that this gap is widening, and this is the wide gap, and for the other state may have much lower than this one what we are getting in the if the ratio is lower, or I can say in the other way that this gap is larger, then the ratio will be larger. So based on that one, the post-pre ratio of what we are estimating here. Based on that one, we are deciding how much in that estate which we have considered to rank this estate. And here we are considering that like the Punjab have a ratio is much higher than compared to the other estate. Yes, Suresh sir.
Okay. Actually, Doctor, he can't ask question now.
Okay.
He don't have video or audio facility.
Okay.
So he can ask through chat.
I think he is attending mode, sir. Is that right?
Okay, no problem. Other may ask because this may not be some people may find it not convincing and all. So that is good. If they find it not convincing, so that should be, that can be convinced. If they are asking.
What, sir?
Dilip.
Yes, sir. Over हो गया, finish.
There is one question, I think, Dr. Gangna Devi. So other than this, where we can use this technique in agriculture? Okay. Or in social science?
Social science.
Okay. So for this one, using this method, okay. For using this method, what I am just focusing on that on if some changes has taken place at on the aggregate level. So what working paper they were following, like the IG idea, that they have just one they were trying to know the impact of demonetization on the agricultural prices and something. So they that was the work what they were doing. So here I am just trying to say, if somewhere some changes takes place at aggregate level, and you are interested to know that one, and you have the you have the some state where that act is not there or not being implemented. So in that case, you can apply this methodology. I hope, madam, are you clear? Okay.
I think there is no any further questions, sir.
Okay. Then are they interested for this one practical, or should I stop it here? If interested, then I can show them. Otherwise, that's okay. There's no issue. Yeah, from participant.
If anyone asks question, ask please.
Kindly respond. No one is saying nothing.
Maybe they might be doing some other work.
No, sir. Yes, very useful, brilliant, interested.
No, what question is there?
No, sir.
No, doctor, there is no question.
Appreciation.
You can demonstrate.
Should I demonstrate this one?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Then I will just unshare. I should stop this slide, I think. My screen is visible, I think so, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So stop this slide and reshare again your demo.
Slide. What is visible? Screen is visible, na?
Your slide screen PPT visible, sir.
PPT visible. Okay. Then
Yes.
I will stop it. Yeah. Now.
Wait, sir.
But you stop your slide, no, doctor?
Now status is visible.
No.
No, sir,
First
actually,
you stop your unshare your slide, doctor. First.
Actually, I stop it.
Stop the
Okay.
share, then start.
Sorry. Yeah. Now.
Now it is visible.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Data file is visible, na? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, no, sir. So here we have just created the panel. Some of you might have worked on the panel data. So here, if you see that we have created panel for the up to 2016-17 from 2000. So here you see like for the each state we have done, and for that one, doing that one, see the variable also we have done, like related to the irrigation, ground infrastructure, then something rice area, then other, like we have created sources of irrigation and all. So basically here, what we are interested at to know how this we can implement is something we find it suitable, or somewhere you find it like something, this type of policy implication is there or not. So these are the some of the basic basic commands. Sorry, some of the basic commands which we have to do it if you are familiar with the data. So we need to resave our data in some of the other form like the log and all, which I have used it. So here I have just put this one. So for the other things like the what we are doing like the command like we are using synthetic control, so they are is option in the, you can search it on the net also, or if there is some issue or you are interested, then you can shoot mail at me also. So that is not the issue. So here we are using like the synth, and here we have just these are the, on this one we want to know the wanted to see the, like the 3 months in groundwater level we have named it. Then rainfall, then electricity consumption, then dropping intensity, then area and all, and then we have just put it here. Uh, okay. Then other things after doing all these things, like here we have considered a treatment unit. Here turn in, if you see it, that is the 20, that is the 24. We have assigned for the Punjab, and create when treatment. I mean to say when they have enacted this policy, that is the 2009. So before that treatment, this is the period of before treatment, then we are just finding, just we are targeting for to know the construct the counterfactual. Firstly, it will give the weight and all. It will, so it will take some time. So if you are interested, then this could be, in the, I think so in Indian agriculture there has not been any paper on this method. If you find it somewhere, then that could be very nice. So it takes it will take a minute, not more. So it does not, the algorithm and the optimization goes on. So based on that one, what earlier, I think someone was asking like between the square prediction error and this one. So here we have given like suppose the error weight, what we were considering, and if you see this one like the so the weight for constructing that one, suppose the 21, 23, 25, if you see, then these are the, you know, these are the state 21, 23, these are the state where it is being weight. And yeah, it is visible or not? A screen.
Visible, Dr. Sir. It is visible.
Visible, sir, visible.
Okay, okay. So based on that one, what I was seeing earlier, what I was saying that how it is based, how weight is given to that particular state. So we have considered this variable for our model, this variable. So it is seeing that each state which are similar, more similar to the our Punjab, or I can say more resemblance to the Punjab, and those who have higher, they are given the higher rate, like the 25, it is the Uttar Pradesh, so it's got the higher rate something. Some states have got the zero rate because they are very much the resemblance to the Punjab. So these are the factor how the these are the how it is how they have created the synthetic platform, and here you can see that graph in this one. this graph. So how it is closely tracked each other. But just widen up here, there are a lot of experimentation with changing the electricity supply and all these things there. So that is on the different account. So we have got this one. This now we are interested with how to do the robustness check of this thing. So for the robustness check, we have just I've written this on the file here. So what someone was asking about how that post and pre ratio is there, how that is higher. So here, if you write it like let's see here. So if you see it here, like we are interested very much for the Punjab. So if you see it, like highest value is 11.22 something is there. So if you see it for the Punjab, that have got the post and pre ratio, that is the much higher than the see. Second number is the Himachal Pradesh. It was there. So it is Himachal, yeah, it is here. And for the so if you see here, like so here you can just you can do directly, and here also you can just edit it something like, you know, if you are familiar with something like if it is not why I am doing this one, because it may not be create visible to you. See. But there is, it has created for each state there is one line. What I can say that it is done for placebo for everyone, for every state which we included in our model. And for that one, for placebo, that how the effect or that this happened by chance, also it has estimated, and we see it here like it is anchored on the zero value for that one, which give it's bolster our result that there has been some effect with this one. What we have seen in the earlier paper of APLC with no effect on that one. So and here, if you are seeing that data also, so it will create, for the data optimization and all this, it's a lot of after that one, like from here you can see like prediction area, it estimated, then estimate the effect, and this one then now what you were asking about the post on previous or something like that. So that is there. I am very much interested for your question. If you can ask me, so that will be nice, because of, this this method has not been used, and that will be good one. Yeah, Doctor.
Over, Doctor.
Yeah, over from my side. But
Okay.
I can ask some question that will be nice.
If someone have any doubt or question, you can ask through chat box or Q&A tab, and those can ask directly. They can ask directly.
Sir, there is one question in question answer box. In panel data, if there are missing observation, then it is possible to run.
Yeah. For this one, suppose the variable which we are including in our model for the pre-intervention period, suppose in our case, before the 2009, you have considered 5 variables. So at least before intervention, there should be observation for that one. If you are not providing that one, any observation for any year, there should be some observation for the years. Based on that one, it will do average. If observation is not there, then it will try to just discard that variable and all. So the variable which you are including in the model, firstly, before the start of any analysis, you might be seeing the the availability of data and all this thing. Based on that one, you can do it. Yes, madam. Yeah, am I clear? No.
Okay, sir.
I think there is no question, sir. So, Meena sir, can you give vote of thanks?
Vote of thanks. Is it required?
On the behalf of participant and organizing team, I would like to express my sincere thanks for your excellent presentation and enriching knowledge.